if you're able to get anyone on a 3-way call prior to your event, Rena, this Sunday, that would be ideal. And I was just mentioning to them, or Jaclyn last night, Rena, the way that you came into the business was the most ideal, perfect way to come in. So Jaclyn came in via 3-way call, right? And then we met with her with coffee. Then Rena, you came in via 3-way call. And then 2 days later, you attended a launch. And then the next day was Meredith. That is the icing on the cake. That was the perfect way to come in strong as a consultant. So if we can, I mean, I know that Meredith is not always here, but it just was perfectly timed for you.
Right.
But that's always ideal, because what I was mentioning to Jaclyn, that, you know, if you expose your guests to a 3-way call and then they still come to your BBL and your launch, they already have it in their mind. They're already interested. And when they come to the launch, they can pretty much make a decision, versus coming to your launch and then going home and making a decision type of thing. So
right.
That's kind of the foundation. It's the perfect ideal way, you know, but of course it's going to veer off of that. So I just want to make note that that was an ideal way for people to come into the business. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and Jaclyn, I'm actually going to just allow you, and this is going to be a super rough run through.
What?
Yeah. Based on what you recall.
Oh,
okay?
God.
Okay, we're just going to go through. How would you want to do it? Do you want to try it? Let's just see what happens.
Okay, what do you mean, like kind of go through and read it?
Yeah, so this is the screen that you know, that just kind of sits on the TV while waiting for all the guests. Or I actually put up my website, because that middle of our website flips like automatically.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So what we can do, since Jaclyn, since actually the other girls are on a time limit, I think I'd rather,
if you could just go through it, and then maybe I can do it after.
Yeah, and then also, yeah. Can you guys still see my screen? Like my face right now? Okay. So what I do want to go through first then, since I'm going to lose the other two soon. Just the basic, like, supplies that we need. This, okay, I'm going to go over 2 documents. This is from my sponsor, Melissa. She created this document. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read through it in the file section, but basically, so powerful presentation checklist. And again, Melissa wrote this. So remember, all of your guests at the event will be asking themselves, can I do this? Do I have the time to do this? And would it be fun? And can I bring my friends and family to this? And that's the purpose of, we want to just keep everything super simple because of that reasoning right there. You know, I've had people that got things catered and got all extravagant, and me personally, I did all these big clubhouse things, and it was just all this catering. And I realized, although we were very successful and we had a bunch of sales, don't get me wrong, but I realized my guests, it intimidated them, because they were like, I can't rent a clubhouse. I can't, you know. So that's the purpose of keeping it, you know, the home ones are super, super effective. The coffee dates are super, super effective, because you have to be in the mind of the person you're speaking to, that they may get intimidated if it's too much. Okay. So, but I love what you did, Lynn. I mean, those little touches that you did with the wine glasses and that's super cute. I'm going to go buy some of those. Okay.
I know, they're cute, right?
So look presentable, you know, no tennis shoes, hair tidy, clothes ironed. We don't want to look like we're coming back from the gym or anything. You know what I mean? We are representing our brand. We always want to put some upbeat music in the background as people's mingling, because that sets the tone of the room. So that's important. You don't want your guests to fall asleep. Just do like the top 40, right, of Pandora or something. And then, you know, this 10 minutes before the presentation, or just let their guests know, in 5 minutes, we're going to start, ladies, let's gather around the living room, right? You have to have one person to take control of that. And it should be the person that's friends with the guest, like the person that invited. So Rena, like if it's, I don't know how large the crowd is, but of course, if it's 3 to 5, that's easy. But like Jaclyn's crowd, when we had 12, you know, you always have to have someone that's going to kind of control the flow of the presentation. So, you know, this is kind of, you silence your phones, blah, blah, blah. You don't want, it's super, and you'll start to notice when you're the presenter, it is, my pet peeve is speaking over someone talking, right? Like, so it's like that's why it's important to have other consultants too when you do have a big crowd. Like, that's why it's important for consultants to sit with the guest so that you kind of just keep everything so that we can kind of flow through and when it's not a choppy presentation. Okay, so so ladies, your presentation should not be the presentation, right? You don't want to be eye candy or soul food. So just kind of keep that in mind. Make sure that your short stories are polished and short, 45 seconds up to 1 minute, smile throughout the event and be likable. So for you guys on Sunday, the way that it's going to work, this is completely up to you guys. So it's Rena's BBL. So Rena's going to come in the beginning and say, hey, thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate you supporting me. And whether this is standing up or sitting at a round table or a dinner table, it's however you want to set the scene is completely up to you. Like if there's 3 people, like I would advise that you just kind of sit at the dinner table, right? And you put a laptop there and put the facial stuff and just make it super cash, right? 8 to 10 to 12, you need to be doing the setup that we did at Lynn's to keep it, you know, keep everyone in the same room. So again, Anna, you're going to thank everyone for coming, and then you're going to say, I'm super new in this business. I'm definitely still in training mode, and I want to introduce, and probably everyone knows Lynn already. But I want to introduce my sister-in-law. Wait, you guys are sister-in-laws, right?
Right. Right.
So sister-in-law to everyone. She's been a great support. This, you know, and do this edification. Right. So Anna, you're going to edify Jaclyn.
Right.
And Jaclyn, so Jaclyn, you're going to present, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jaclyn's going to present, but whenever you speak and you say your short story, you're going to say, this is Aimee. She's been a great help to me and my mentor. We actually work together and we're both in the industry. And then I think 2 short stories is definitely enough, but you definitely want to edify and introduce Aimee. So Anna, you want to share your short story. Lynn, you want to share yours, and then definitely introduce and edify Aimee, because at the end, she's going to be walking around and so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone should be introduced to the speaker. And I'm talking like, this is probably geared more towards a larger crowd. I'm not sure the number of people on Sunday. But you want to make sure, Anna, because every time you introduce, hi, this is my sister-in-law, Jaclyn, that's edification, right? So you're building up her credibility. So everything that comes out of Lynn's mouth is credible. It's all edification. This is Jaclyn. She's been doing the business for a little longer than me, you know, so you could, no matter if the time frame is short, you still can edify and you still can build up that credibility. And same thing you can do for Aimee. So everyone should be introduced to the speaker. Always bring your guest to the speaker and not the other way around, meaning walk your prospect to the presenter. This edifies the speaker and it teaches your team to do the same for you when you're speaking. So like the guests in the room are potentially your future team. So they you know, it's duplication, right? They'll remember, oh, when I went to Anna's presentation, it's gonna, you know, this is what she did. So don't allow fellow consultants that have not practiced their presentation or short story to practice their presentation on prospects. This can make or break an event. So make sure you have already role played the presentation, remembering to smile and keeping it simple using the slideshows. Again, no one's expecting any of us to be this master presenter. All we have to do is talk about what's on the slides, and that's really it. I've done it so many times that I don't have to look at the slides, so don't compare you to what I've done. just read the slides. Your friends will not expect you to be this master presenter, right? Okay, so the length of the presentation total, this is important because if it goes any longer than this, you're gonna lose people. Length of the presentation total should be 45 minutes, max an hour from start of the presentation to the end. You don't want the presentation to be painfully long. You want it to be pleasurable and short. If the presenter tells a joke, all the consultants in the room need to laugh and chuckle at the joke, even if you've heard it like a zillion trillion times. Aimee does a great job doing that. I'd like to think she still truly laughs at my same exact jokes every time, but I don't know. That's why she's so good at it. Okay, so consultant, please introduce your guest to the others in the room so that they can relate to them, blah, blah, blah. If one's a nurse, introduce to the nurse, so on and so forth. If one has kids, such and such have kids. So this is a great fundamentals of the presentation. And that can be found in the group, in our group page under the files section, and it's called Powerful Presentation Checklist. And then there's another document that I want to go over, which is super, super helpful. Where is it? Like a checklist. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Event checklist, maybe? Okay, so this is regarding the supplies. So, Jaclyn, I'll be right back. Hold on while that's loading.
Aimee.
Yeah.
Are you, did you get anybody else to come tonight?
No, just one, which is my sister-in-law, but everybody else canceled.
Oh, that's great. Are you going to still do it?
Yeah, I'm going to still do it. You want to still come?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. I like your hair, Rena.
Oh, thanks.
It's
Rena.
so pretty. Rena, oh my God, I'm sorry.
I know, I'm super confused to what to call you.
Because Aimee also has a Rihanna in her
Oh, geez.
consultant. So they're all confused. Rihanna, Rena, Rena.
Karina.
How about pretty? Is that okay? Is that your name okay?
Right. Okay, so Jaclyn, I made this for you. I don't know when you can swing by and get it, maybe on the way to Aimee's tonight.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So these are the forms. I even put a little sticky. You can find these
Oh,
forms
awesome. Okay.
in the group page. So what's in this file folder is a couple of the pricing sheets.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's a couple of, just a couple, like two independent consultant forms.
Uh-huh.
You've got a couple of preferred customer retail. You've got a couple of the $6.95 and $9.95.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And then the Excel sheet, the breakdown.
Okay.
These are the only forms you need during a presentation. And also, it's super important that we don't start slapping all these forms in front of them.
Yeah.
Like, we don't pull anything out until they start talking about, the only thing that we bust out is this during the pricing part. Because
Okay.
if you start throwing kits, $6.95, $9.95, Excel spread, it's too much.
Yeah.
So if they start talking kit, that's when you break out the kit stuff. So this is the only thing that they should look at the end of the presentation. Okay. So depending on the situation, here's the supply checklist. Tables, like if you're going to do it in the living room, and you guys can download this and do a shared doc between you guys, or, that way you can see who's doing what. You want the business kit display area, Apple TV or laptop. I use HDMI with my laptop. It's the easiest way. I've done Apple TV a couple of times, and then the internet was shaky and it just screwed everything up. So for me, HDMI, most TVs, I haven't encountered a situation to where they didn't have HDMI yet.
Mm.
So, and if they did, I brought my little TV. Okay, so those tall Rodan and Field centerpieces, Aimee, do you have them?
Which one?
The regimen ones, the tall ones.
Yeah, you mean the
The boxes with the tissue?
yes, I have that.
And you have the colored tissue?
I have that.
Okay, I'm gonna have my banners with me. So, and then name tags, super important too. Like, you can get this in the RF mall, but you don't have time for it now. Just get some little white labels,
Okay.
like the mailing labels, and
Right.
just put names on it so that we can, during the presentation, I personally like to call people by their names and know, like, and then you get the color of the regimen for the marker. So you write, so when they come in, you do the solutions tool, right?
Right.
And then you write their name in the color of the regimen, and then you take a Aimee knows how to do this too. You take a regimen card, which I'm going to give to you in that folder too, and then you put it aside. So for example, Rena, when Rena shows up to the event, we'll do her solutions tool, and let's just say she's reverse. Then we would give her a name tag with reverse in orange, right? We're going to write her name in orange. We're going to take her regimen card, put her name on it to the side, so that during the presentation, while someone's presenting, the other person is in the regimens. Then they know whose regimen's what. So name tags, so those label things, and the regimen cards.
Okay.
So, for example, I'm going to put, Jaclyn, your name here. I can't edit because I don't buy it. So, Jaclyn, for this weekend, you would get the regimen cards, whoever needs to do the name tags. Aimee would get bring the centerpieces, and then whoever's got that laptop with HDMI connection.
Okay.
And then the business kit, we just have to make sure that someone brings the ones that Anna's doesn't have, the product. Okay. The mirrors with stand, Aimee, how many do you have?
I think I have 5.
How many guests are we thinking?
I'm thinking like anywhere from 3 to 5.
Okay. So that should be enough. I'll
ask Anna if she has some, because she's coming tonight. We're meeting all to go over our presentation.
Okay, perfect.
Because I have a guest.
White washcloths. Do we have washcloths for after step 1? And then the demo tray. Aimee?
I have demo tray. I only have, I think, 5.
You know
So
what?
I can ask Anna.
I'll try and pick up all this stuff because I'd like to have my supply anyways, so that me and Rena can start having.
Yeah. You know where? Go to Daiso.
Yeah.
For the mirrors.
Okay.
Daiso has the mirrors. I bought all the ones out of Irvine, so you might have to go to, I think they have one in Lake Forest.
Okay, yeah.
And then Michael's for the paint trays.
Okay.
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 Rena, I can go pick all that stuff up probably tomorrow.
Okay, and just let me know what you can't, and then I can swing by and get whatever you don't get.
And then the spray bottles, that's for like reverse. When people are demoing the reverse, some people use it, some people don't. Like sometimes like on dry face, reverse is hard to spread, so we just let them spray a little bit of water. That's what the spray bottles are for. It's just in case. And makeup remover, Aimee, do you have Rodan and Fields? The makeup eye cloths? I would invite, like, for next month, don't do it this month, but for your SB next month, order some of these wipes.
Yeah, okay.
Because we don't, in the beginning, we were using just regular makeup wipes, but then we don't know what chemicals it's mixing with the product. So I started using the makeup wipes. And I've sold a couple of them because we're using that. Gauze. So we want to make sure that we're using gauze for step 2.
I can't hear.
Who's I?
That's Aimee.
Aimee, I couldn't hear anything you just said after the cloth.
The gauze. So use the gauze that came in the $9.95. I don't know if that comes in the $6.95. I don't think so. So Jaclyn, bring your gauze that came in with your kit.
Okay.
Okay, and then the large bowls for the demo tables. So in other words, you want these, cute bowls to just throw their trash in on the table. So there's not a bunch of trash. Okay, so these are the forms that a pricing cheat sheet, consultant application, preferred customer form, and retail form is what you need. And I have all that for you. So I have your forms and your regimen cards for you whenever you can swing by.
Okay.
Can you give Jaclyn, also, can you give Jaclyn my cards too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll give you a set.
Okay.
And then, the Glow mini facials, if we're promoting Bring a Friend, then do you guys know what the Glow mini samples look like? The Glow samples?
I've seen pictures of it, but I don't know what's in it. Is that?
Let me grab one real quick.
Aimee, where are you going?
I'll send it right now.
So it's the microderm paste. In the $9.95, you get little sample packs. But so I just started because I bought a tub. So I started putting the paste in these things, and then it comes with a lip serum and a night renewing serum. So you put those two, and then you get these. I could give you some of these two cute little pouches, right? And then we have these Glow regimen cards somewhere. Glow cards. Somewhere that it's not here. Anyway, so I put it here and I just hole punch the card and it just looks super cute. Now, Rodan and Fields teaches us to give these as like a conversation starter. I don't ever give a sample as, hey, try this, let me know what you think. That's how they teach us. The reason why is because the couple of times that I've done that, they ended up buying the microderm paste and then the serum, and they never got on the regimen. So it was all like, so I rather like just have people come on a regimen first and this as gifts type of thing. So let's not forget to do a cute care to someone this weekend.
Oh, I know. We didn't do that for mine.
Okay, so you guys know how to apply that, right? So the cute care.
Stick it on?
Yeah. So you have to start on one side. Hold on. Oh, I don't have one right here. You start on one side and you just barely press. You want to just make the cones just touch their skin. You don't just plop it on and start pressing. You start on one side and you work your way out, and you want to make sure there's no air bubbles. That's the purpose. Don't press too hard because that'll irritate their skin. So you just start on one side and you work your way up to the other side.
Okay.
Okay. And then, just whatever. I don't know why we have pork sliders right here. I think that was probably one at my house because my husband cooks when they do mine here. So food examples: wine, cheese, fruit, veggies, right? Just the simple store-bought type of thing. I have this super easy meatball recipe that is like barbecue sauce and meatball and half a can of crushed pineapples. And you just put it in a crock pot. Super easy. People love it. So that's it. That's the supplies needed. And you guys can download this from the group page.
Okay.
And then kind of assign who's going to do what. This keeps me in check all the time.
Okay.
And then there'll be everything that you guys need. Okay, so that's in regards to the flow and the product or the supplies that we need. So, okay, presentation time. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't talk anything about this slide here. if you want to, Jaclyn, I don't know if you have a printer at home. I don't know how many slides there are. I think like 50 slides. If you
Yeah.
want to print it and jot down notes, but literally, when I go through this, and you guys have heard my three-way call. My presentation and my three-way call is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So I start off here. So everyone's sitting down now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, here's the flow that you want it to be. If the start time is at 10 a.m., you mingle and let people eat or whatever till 10:30. And then 10:30 to 11, 10-ish, you're doing the presentation. And then you do the facials. So by 12, everyone, like by pretty much 11:30, 12, everyone's kind of just mingling now again. So that's kind of the flow you want to do. So we start here, right? Let me move this. So Rodan and Fields, they're Stanford trained doctors. These are the same two doctors that created Proactive. So they launched originally in 2002 in high-end department stores, and it only took them 5 years to become the #1 clinical skincare line in all of Nordstrom's. But then the doctors realized that there was a shift in retail sales to online sales. And and you hear it in my three-way calls because of what our economy was going through, right? So in my head, what I picture is, okay, they launched in 2002. It took them 5 years to become #1 in Nordstrom's. But in 5 years, remember what was happening in our economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and so there was a shift because of our economy. Businesses were closing down. Businesses in general were looking to work or, run their business more efficiently. So the doctors had this foresight to see that there was a shift from retail sales to online sales. And the doctors wanted to ride that same wave of the rise of social economy. Right. And I go, these are all my extras, like my tidbits. I go into, and that's when and Meredith said this too, that's when the big FB happened, right? Start of Facebook. Obama tweeted for the first time in 2008. So there was that rise in social economy, and the doctors had wanted to ride the wave. And so by 2008, which brings us to the next bullet point. So 2008, they decided to be the first dermatological line and first already very successful retail brand to exit retail and enter the world of direct sales. And also notice when I present or even in the three-way call, and I've learned this through a years ago training, your tone go up or down. Like imagine if, that's why I bold things whenever I type. They were the first dermatological line, so I express that in my tone and my voice. Like when I get excited, like they were the first dermatological line, so I say it with an exclamation point, right? So you want to present that, and that just takes time and practice. Retail line and very successful retail brand to exit retail and enter the world of direct sales. And then they knew that they made the right decision because just a few months after that shift, they sold more in 1 month than they did the entire year being #1 nationally. Then it goes straight into 4 major areas of aging skin. And you want them to correlate that these products are designed because of these 4 major areas of aging skin, right? So decrease cell turnover. I don't even read the whole thing. I'm bullet pointing everything. Diminished collagen, loss of moisture, and I always add this, and just living here in beautiful Southern California, the effects of sun damage, environmental damage, right? And then we go into the regimen philosophy. And this is kind of like aha moments for people too. Like, so the doctors, again, they build these products based on the 4 major areas of aging skin. And also, if anyone's familiar with Proactive, they know that these doctors also design or develop their products based on what's called a regimen philosophy. And what is that, right? The regimen philosophy, that's the right ingredients in the right formulation, in the right order, and that's what's called multi-med therapy. And this is kind of that aha moment for people. And it's based on treating the entire face with the entire regimen due to the fact that spot treating is ineffective. And then this is where I add, but we're all guilty of it, right? We buy a face wash here, an eye cream here, an SPF here. We buy all different brands of makeup, and we mix that all on our face, and we just cross our fingers that it all works together. And typically that's the most ineffective way to treat our face. And that gets our guests thinking, oh crap, that's what I do. So that's why I always add that. So our products are easy to use. They're color coded. All of our results are have clinical studies, and all of the photos, I always also add this, all the photos that you're going to see are either before and afters of us, our family members, our fellow consultants. Then products meet FDA standard, and they offer a 60-day empty bottle money back guarantee. So what do we have? I also add this to my presentation because I want them to think simple. Right? Oh, there's only 4 things I got to choose. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we only have 4 core regimens. The reverse regimen, just literally read, reverse, unblemish, soothe, and redefine. Right? And then you also want to add regarding the redefine. That's the one that we all try to graduate to, and that's our maintenance program. Once we finish dealing with our eczema, our acne, dark spots, we want to maintain with the redefined regimen. And then also don't forget to add, this is the one that our young adults for preventative uses, because I want them to start thinking as they're sitting there, oh, I've got a young adult too, blah, blah, blah. So that's that. Then we go into the power pack. So after we introduce the 4 regimens, then we say, okay, so again, what I love about this line is we've got 4 regimens and 2 tools. And when you add the 2 tools together with your regimen, your daily regimen, we call that the power pack. And if you want amplified and accelerated results, this is the pack, that's going to give you just that. So then you go into microderm or macro exfoliator. So then you say it's the same exact results that if you've ever had microdermabrasion done, you'll get the same exact results, except it's on your bathroom counter at home, right? And then you could go into here now, and you could literally just read this, how microdermabrasion works in a nutshell. Microdermabrasion works by causing a small amount of trauma to your skin, causing it to repair itself in a more organized fashion. So literally this visual will help them understand that if they have a wrinkle and you slough off that packed on dead skin cells, obviously your wrinkles are going to be less noticeable because it smooths your skin out. And you also want them to know that we only macro once a week. And it's, I like to say macro Monday, 5 minutes, super simple. We want to, in their minds, I want people to start thinking this is super easy. This is simple. They make it so easy. This is only 5 minutes a week, right? But I can get the same results as a esthetician would give me. So then I go back here. Then I say, okay, so our other tool, the second tool is the the Redefine Amp Roller. So what this is, and then that's when, and honestly, depending on the size of the crowd, like notice I didn't go around and let everyone feel the macro exfoliator Friday night. But this weekend, if it's 3 to 5, you just, somebody just go around and let them feel it, because again, we want to keep the presentation short. Then I bust out with the roller, and I use that the comparison about aerating the grass, right? So everyone knows aerating, so on and so forth. It's the same exact concept. Mike, you roll your face once a night, 1 minute a night, and then you could even say, me and my husband roll every night. So I want them to think this is simple. My husband uses it. It's no big deal, right? Because I feel like people get overwhelmed with a lot of face products. Well, I feel that way. Maybe it's because that's how I feel. So we have to be aware of we can't put our opinions on others. They might not even be thinking that. So you roll up and down, side to side for 1 minute a night. And what this does, it stimulates the collagen in your skin. So it firms up your skin naturally. So then we go into our regimens. So the redefined regimen, you get 3 steps. Step 1 is the mask. I might even stop saying this because I noticed the other night with Meredith or whoever was doing the product presentation, she went super quick. Like the redefined regimen, this is the one that targets fine lines, pores, and wrinkles, right? And then that's all you have to say about that. And then you can go into the before and afters. So this is Melissa's, you could say this is my friend Melissa's grandmother. She's 86 years old. And Melissa bought her the Power Pack for Christmas last year. And then this is her results. And then here's her 30-day results. And I always zoom in, right, so that it's huge on the screen. And then here's Anna, our friend Anna. She uses the roller. And you could throw your little tidbits. Anna, if she's not there, she'd be here, blah, 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 whatever. But she rolls her whole body, and she literally rolls her whole body. She rolls her butt, she rolls her chest, she rolls her face, and she uses like 5 of those retinols a day. So this is her before and afters. And then these are actually my favorite ones. Her name is Diana. And this is a 9-month transformation. Most people are very impressed with these 2 slides. And then you could even point out, and don't forget to say they're using the redefined Power Pack. So I don't want them to think, oh, I'm just going to do the redefined regimen and this is what I'm going to get, right? Diana's using the redefined Power Pack. In other words, she's doing her regimen twice a day, macro once a week, and rolling nightly. And then here's the other, 1-year results. And then the next one is Danita. She had skin cancer removed from her cheek, and this is 3 months using the roller during the healing process. I'll send you guys, she's got an awesome article of her journey on Facebook, so I'll send you the link. It's good to read up on who you're talking about and to know that they're real, right?
Right.
And then, here's just an extra. You can roll your neck, so on and so forth. This girl, her name is Aimee, to the top right here. Her name's Aimee. And then stretch marks. And then the acute care for the expression lines. So acute care, we're super excited about this product, and you can mention this is what such and such has on her wrinkle. And I'm going to share with you guys the video of this. When I started presenting, I maximized on videos a lot, but it just stretched out the presentation way too long, so I cut it out. But I'll send it to you, and I'll let you choose if you want to use it or not for Sunday. So the acute care, we recently launched it in January, and it was named the #1 alternative to Botox. So I go into the whole explanation. We all know what Botox is, right? They stick a needle in our face. It paralyzes the nerves in our face so it doesn't move. Then they have what's called Juvederm. And the reason why I feel like this is definitely more in comparison to Juvederm versus Botox. Juvederm, they take an injectable and they inject hyaluronic acid into your wrinkle and it fills the wrinkle, right? Our acute care has 125 liquid-filled cones of hyaluronic acid. And you put it on overnight and it melts into your wrinkles. So it's non-invasive, no appointment necessary. And you could even steal my line. Somebody like me that would love to get Botox, but 1, I'm too chicken to stick a needle in my face, or 2, I'm probably allergic to it or something, whatever you want to say about that. So it also makes them think, well, that's perfect for me too, because I'm not going to go get, the people that don't get Botox, they could think that too. So then you go into the before and afters of the acute care. This is my friend Shelly. This was at a facial party. And then here's some more before and afters. Oops. So then you go into reverse. Reverse is the one that targets sun damage, discoloration, melasma, so on and so forth. And then I definitely point this out. Sun damage, it's what you don't see. The small marks on your face is just the tip of the iceberg. What lingers underneath is about 3 to 4 times the size of it. So, and you guys hear me, that's the reason why those of us that work in the geriatric world, they call them age spots, because eventually it's gonna surface. Danella, 6 months. And then I don't know her name. This is a 3-month on reverse. And then here's my husband. You could even say, he did the IPL. He was on Obagi prior to using Rodan and Fields. And I really should take this slide out, because I don't want people to ever think that you're going to get these results in 5 days unless they do what he did, right? He started twice a day. He started macro exfoliating. He started rolling, and he started on the accelerator, like literally all in one day. He did all this and very aggressively treating that spot. So make sure you point that out, that Reverse comes with a calendar, and you want them to follow it. Now, if their skin is tough or we're talking to a guy, they could try it. I always tell people get to twice a day as fast as possible. And then his name is Mark, pharmaceutical rep, and he's on the Reverse with the roller and the eye cream.
Your dad actually might like that, Rena.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
he keeps saying he's the more vain one.
He's
My
my
dad is the same
product
way.
than mom.
Uh-huh.
That's so awesome. I love it when the guys do it. Like my husband's all about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Is V gonna be there? He needs to see all this
Well,
stuff.
he was gonna go and he wasn't gonna be there so he can bring Derek away so we don't have any kids there.
Oh.
Like, well,
Maybe Frederick can just take the kids away. Because I kind of think that V should hear this. Because I think
be your husband.
yes.
Okay.
He's
And
vain
he
as well.
loves-
He has more product than I do.
Yeah, he's all about product. He was telling me you got to do toner every day. You got to
No way.
Oh yeah. He
Yeah.
was like, even at night, I wear SPF 10. It's really important. I'm like, you
He
need to be a consultant.
Oh my God, yeah, he needs to be there.
Okay.
I'll just have Fred watch the kids because I think that he's heard a bunch. I mean, I would like him to eventually hear a presentation too, but he's kind of listened to Alta speaking in the back whenever I'm doing three-way calls and stuff like that. So, in fact, your brother was actually talking about the products last night at basketball with two people.
Oh my God.
Ooh,
I was like,
your husband?
yeah,
Oh my God. Frederick, who is he?
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Because one of his friends was talking about his acne, so Fred started talking about the acne line,
Okay.
and then the other one's like, oh, I've got this spot. I have this spot, and he goes, yeah, there's something for that too. And so that's why I was telling him, like, oh, I need to give you some more info about the product so you can talk about it.
Oh, go
Right?
Frederick.
That's so awesome. I love it.
But that's so your husband too, Reen.
Yeah,
Reen like
Oh,
would
V-
totally talk about this in his sleep.
he takes care of his face more than I do.
Hey, let's schedule a couples one soon.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cute
Yeah, so
one.
that actually would be a good one.
So
That's a
husband
great
will
idea.
let's do that. Even Amy's husband.
Yeah, I love that idea because that way we let them introduce them to the business a little bit more, even though they've kind of been introduced by it from us.
Yeah.
But that might be a good idea to kind of get them.
And then I'll have my husband say something. I will let my
Yeah.
husband.
Oh, okay. I
My
love that
husband's
idea.
been asking me to do the present, like he wants to do the business part. He wants to present
He
the-
does. Oh,
Cool.
So we'll see. So okay, so then we go into Soothe, right? You can share my journey, and then also I feel it's important to express too, like if anyone's Soothe, let them know that they have to we target one thing at a time. So with skincare, it's patience, right? And long term. So anyone that's in Soothe, redefine is misspelled. You want to let them know that stay on Soothe for a minimum of 30 days if you're sensitive, before you start doing all this other stuff. I didn't start doing the roller or the macro exfoliator until 60 days. So that's super important because sometimes, the sensitive people want to do all this other stuff too, but it's important that they know that they should target the sensitivity first and then move on. So here's Tina, she's got eczema on her scalp. And then here's Anna, she has rosacea. And she came to a facial party and she did the acute care. And then just remind them if you're spot treating for the kids, it's step 2 and 3. And then we'll go into Unblemish. And the difference between this and Proactive is geared more towards generalized acne, whereas Unblemish is geared more towards the adult hormonal cystic acne. And Unblemish is sulfur based. So, and just for you guys' knowledge, Unblemished, when you order it, there's 2 toners that you can choose from. The spot fading toner is if you're trying to address both the acne and the post-acne marks. But if you're really trying to target acne, you should pick the clarifying toner and then move to the spot fading toner. So the clarifying toner will help with the acne more than the spot fading toner. Here's my sister-in-law, and I forgot to send this one to you the other night for Mylin or somebody, but the picture is right here.
Okay.
This is 3 months, and then remind people, because I wrote Unblemished eye cream, roller, and exfoliator, but remind them they should not roll or do any of that other good stuff until if they have active acne. You don't want to spread bacteria all over their face.
Okay.
And then again, remind them results will vary, right? It could be a week, 2 months, just depending on the severity of the acne. And then the additional products, right? We go into the eye cream, which is sold out right now. But you could even say, I'm doing a wait list for the minute that it comes on, so you could take their order if they want the eye cream, and just say, you'll put them on a wait list, and as soon as it comes available, then we can order it. The eye cloths, the night serum, and the hand regimen. You can just kind of touch on that. This is 2 months of my eye results using the roller. Oops, using the roller, and then here's marks. This is when I start introducing free press. So Vogue, and then you say our lips age too, right? So you roll your lips at night. You put the lip serum on. And this was Vogue magazine, and I point out dates and I point out Vogue, right? So we get a lot of free press. Vogue magazine printed this in March of this year, that our lip serum was one of the top 14 things to stock up on this spring. And then that's basically it. So I stop here and I say, okay, so that's the end of the product presentation. And I kind of just transition to, and because this is a business and this is some of our shoe fund money gig, our side gig, or some of, our life-changing income or full-time gig, I do want to just take the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes to talk about the business presentation, and then we can play with facials, right? Then this is where I go into, if this is something, and I want them to start thinking, if this is something that you can see yourself doing, so now when I say that, they're going to imagine, can I do this? So if this is something you can see yourself doing, whether it's for that extra money, maybe it's a goal to leave your full-time job, whatever it is, what I love about this business, it can be just that for you. It can be a couple of $100 a month. It could be a couple of $1,000 a month. It could be truly life-changing income. It's whatever you want it to be for you. But if you or someone feel like you can do this, then I roll into it. You'd be partnering with entrepreneurs to deliver breakthrough skincare solutions and substantial potential. And then we go into, the traditional business models are changing. Who remembers Blockbuster, right? Because of the rise of social commerce and what the internet's doing with our lives, right? There's change in our economy and the way people are doing business. There's a shift in power from corporations to individuals. Our products, we have breakthrough in skincare, and anti-aging alone, just in the United States, is a $3.9 billion industry. So that's all I do. I talk about the squares that are here. I just read off of it. Then I touch on, let's talk about, okay, our products, right? Our products, they're not on trial. Our products have proven solutions that deliver results, so much so that they offer a 60-day empty bottle money back guarantee. Check. Done. Our doctors, they're not on trial either, right? They have a proven track record to success with their previous product, Proactive. So I don't question if they can succeed in this, right? They've got already that, and because their success, we've got an already established brand that works. These are the 2 most quoted dermatologists in the world. So you can say that So what they're imagining is, right, okay, check, the products are work, they're great, we just talked about it. Brand presence, wow, that's huge. These two doctors are worldwide doctors, so they, we want them to think this is not a mom and pop network marketing company. This is a very credible, branded, iconic players that would be joining, they'd be joining. Our products, our business is a direct sale model, low cost of entry, high profit potential. And then we maximize our network in order to run our business. So I just talk about these 4 squares. Let's talk about brand presence. These are just a couple of magazines that our products show up in. And what's really cool is when the reader sits there and says in Vogue magazine, top 10 products to stock up on, our consumer or our reader just can't go to Nordstrom's, right, and just buy it. They have to come through an independent consultant. Then I move over here. I suggested you guys both read this article so you're familiar with it. So in February of this year, we just launched in Canada, and Yahoo Business wrote this awesome article about our company, where we've been, where we're headed globally. Super exciting. Here's where I really stress this one. So the Today Show, right, April 6th of this year, did a segment on, and I read, Moms making money at home, social media drives direct sales business surge. So right now, there is a huge surge in direct selling companies. There's a direct selling company around all kind of products. I bring up the oils, bags, clothes, jewelry, candles, you name it, chef, pamper, all this cooking stuff. There's all these thousands of direct selling company. But when the Today Show decided to feature this segment, they chose to interview our doctors and feature our business system. That's instant credibility and spoke volume for me. And then also the Doctor Show, our macro exfoliator showed up on the Doctor Show. And then Forbes named our Acute Care one of 2014's most innovative beauty products. So that's super cool. And then I get super excited about this one. Dr. Rodan, Dr. Fields, they were named 2 of the 10 most successful women entrepreneurs of the decade, according to Investopedia.com. And that was printed April of this year. That was following Oprah, Beyonce, and Torian Birch. And these doctors came in 4th. And that's when I kind of go into, if Oprah would say, hey, world, if I'm going to start a direct selling company, want to join me? Without question, we would join her because it's Oprah, right? That's the same credibility that these doctors have in the arena. So who can join this business? Pretty much anyone with skin, right? We want them to know that just because they're not a salesperson, just because they're not this, that, and the other, anyone can do this business. And you can and I do my little joke, there's 2 requirements. If you're thinking about joining us in business, you gotta have skin and you gotta have fun. That's where I say that thing. But you want to share this is important too. These are a couple of the top leaders that we have that supports us, right? This is our team, and you could point me out, and then leaders that reached the top of the pay plan, whatever, top 2% of the entire company. And the purpose for this is to show these people that none of these people are salespeople. Designer, consultant, nurse, respiratory therapist, medical assistant, teacher, so on and so forth, right? So that's the point of showing that. You could say our companies give Lexuses. So this is Jaclyn. She earned her Lexus 17 months into the business. Jaclyn is this lady here, this girl here. She worked for Delta Airlines. Aimee is a nurse practitioner. I think she's in North Carolina. Nikki is our upline as well. She was a social worker. This is, where is Nikki? Nikki is right here, retired from corporate. All of these people, and then you guys met Dr. King this past weekend at Meredith's. So she's 9 months into, she earned her Lexus 9 months in the business. And Nikki earned hers in 2 years into the business, and Jaclyn earned hers 17 months into the business. I'm not sure about Aimee. So the 4 stages of business growth, this is super exciting, right? Because there's 4 stages that all Fortune 500 companies experience: formulation, concentration, and stability. momentum and stability. And you literally read formulations, the creation of the products, development and implementation. Concentration is where name recognition is happening. I feel we've already crossed that since the beginning of this year with the launch of acute care, so on and so forth. Stability, this is where I compare proactive. This is where proactive is, right? Call up Adam Levine, maintain our multi-million-dollar company. However, momentum only occurs once in any business opportunity. And that's where wealth is captured. So I always say, hold that thought, right? So we're going into this map. This is where we're currently at. We've gone to the United, and I zoom in to not read that first, the top. I zoom in just to look at the map. We're currently in the United States and in Canada, and this is what the numbers represent where direct selling is the most dominant, right? So, and you could see based on this, Japan, Korea, and China is second, third, and fourth. So once our company reaches one of those countries, and because we're all Asian, we can say this, right? And I go back here, this whole momentum thing is all over with because, you know, us Asians are all about it, so on and so forth. So with that said, proactive, these doctors took proactive to 180 countries worldwide, and after 20 years on the market, they still dominate and retain over 80% of the acne market. They're at it again, except this time they're inviting us along the ride. Currently, Rodan and Fields are only in 2 countries, right? So can you imagine where you'd be today if they would have allowed us to partner with them when they created Proactive? And then that's basically it. And then you go into your facials. So you go into your facials, right? And then everyone applies step 1. When the facial starts, I would say when the business presentation starts, somebody needs to be fixing the regimens on the trays. And then when you start with the facial, somebody else needs to be warming up the towels in the microwave. Do 45 seconds. You don't want steaming hot towels. And then walk them through that. And then after, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, then go into pricing with them, retail preferred and consultant, and then the business kits. I actually go into this right here, like the 3 ways. Okay, so retail, preferred, and consultant. Literally just read, right? Skip this because that's next and go into here. So, for example, and you pick the regimens that people are trying. So if you've got a reverse in the crowd, you say, okay, so for example, when I say regimen, by the way, it's the entire package, 2 months. Retail is $179, preferred customer is $162, that's 10% off, and then the consultant pricing is reflecting 25% off. And then you kind of just go through what regimens they tried. Now, if you're thinking of coming in as a consultant, here are the 4 ways to come in as a consultant, right? And then all of these ways, when it's time to replenish, this is the price that you get ongoing, this consultant pricing. Oops. So then you want to, and then, start talking about this after you establish the fact that there are people that are interested in this kit. If you start talking to people that are interested in tools like the Power Pack, we upsell a lot to $695 because that Power Pack ends up to be 400 something bucks, and if $200 is not going to make or break their bank, they can get everything at $695. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, questions? Oh, I finished my makeup. So what'd you think, Lynn?
I think it's doable. I think it's okay. I mean, I've heard it enough, and I'll keep replaying stuff. Like I've been replaying some of I've recorded some of your 3-way calls.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. And then, even the one that you sent, the recording that you sent from Meredith's thing, because they they go over the product there too.
Yeah.
So I've listened to that. So
I want to gear more towards that style. Very quick.
Yeah, I did like that. It was quick, kind of just quickly brushing through it, because then we can tackle more questions at the end. And so,
yeah. I'm sorry. I want to do 1 slide per regimen is what I want to do.
Yes.
I
I like
yeah.
I like that.
Just put all the before and afters on 1 slide, and I say all, but like we could even put the reverse picture of the reverse. This is all on 1 page in the top corner, and then 3 examples, and that's it.
And then move on to the next regimen.
Move on to the
Yeah. Just like the way
to do it.
Like the way they did it. And then, okay, so let's say, for example, you have somebody that's interested in being a consultant. So you kind of talk about the 4 ways of entering, which kit to go into. If they want to know more about how to make money, are we even starting to the discussion of, because I know you and I met one-on-one with Aimee, and you kind of drew out the commission structure and kind of going, and I've done that for my husband too, when I was explaining to him, kind of drawing the line, talking about the levels, this and that. Is that something we try and talk about at another time, or do you kind of just pull them aside and go ahead and go over it briefly?
So let me ask you that, Anna. Being that you came on Friday, right, and you kind of were like thinking about doing the business, would it have made a difference if I sat down and gone over the commissions with you right then and there, or?
I mean, I guess it would have helped laid it out, because I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
So I told Lynn, like, I jumped in like quick because of Lynn, like trusted her, and and then I sat through the presentation, I talked to you, so I felt like I had enough information at that point. But maybe if you could I guess if you're deleting some other slides, maybe you could do like a quick, like, hey, so this is quickly how it works. Like, if you get to this level, you get to this level, how's the whole pyramids thing start working?
The thing is with that, it can, for somebody to hear all this and that is going to be a lot.
I would not put it in the presentation whatsoever. And just to say this, I've probably gone into that 1 time at a event.
Okay.
If like, you can literally go back to that slide of like this slide. If anyone's interested in learning about how our commission structure works, I'll definitely schedule time aside or what have you, and we could do a one-on-one.
Because come to think of it, I think that's something even for Rena that we need to go over with her about the fast start and the fast start bonuses and basically understanding how to promote to level 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wait, we didn't do that during orientation?
We did. You did. You looked at. We did on the bar. When you showed the screen that with the 2 buckets and then the east leg. So you went it over. You definitely went over on that.
You touched upon it. I probably see it a little more in
repetitive.
Detail. Looking at it on my phone, and it's
I mean, I had to really go over that over and over. I play
that stuff I never understand, so I just leave it up to okay, I'm just gonna keep getting my 2 people and just keep going and going.
Honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't dig into commissions until my month 3. I just ran.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, actually, just run and just keep going.
Yeah, I ran, and I knew that I needed to get 8 people. That's all I knew. Literally. And then I knew that if I did that, I was going to make some money.
Right. That's exactly that what I'm thinking too.
Right? Exactly. It's too hard to calculate. And it boggles your mind.
Yeah. I don't know if that's being naive to it, but I just figured, well, this recipe works of getting the 2 people. So run with it. And eventually something's going to come in my bank account,
Yeah. I feel like if you just simplify it instead of I had to really analyze it and understand it just because that's the way my brain works. But really what it comes down to is just really focusing on getting your 2, helping them sell 600, working on the next 2, helping them sell their 600 and so forth, while at the same time helping coach your team. Right. And just kind of eventually getting to, level 5 when you get your 8. But so it's simplified, but I know remember Alta, you drew that whole diagram for me last time, and I actually found that helpful because in my mind I picture
You can
things a
see
lot.
it.
Yeah, so I picture this line of 8 people, and then picturing them growing a team down. So I'll go over that with you, Rena, because
Okay.
That's how you should do it too. You should do it
Yeah.
on a one-on-one. And I see. I feel strong about this. I don't go into all of that because it's too overwhelming to the naked eye, basically, right? In the beginning, like I don't like going over all that with you and certain people. You have to, do a judgment call there. I knew you were involved in other network marketing companies, so I was comfortable that you're not freaked out when I start drawing circles, right? But
and that's true. I think
the
for
average
me,
person will kind of like, oh, da 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 da, right?
yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I think I needed to see that because especially my husband was going to ask me all these questions because he's very familiar with pay plans. And so I needed to be able to explain that to him. And so when the more I've explained it to him, he's like, that's exactly how it usually is. So for him, it totally makes sense when I was able to explain that to him. But for him, it's because he's had experience with it. But you're right. For the average person, probably too much to go over.
It's too much. And
So, ladies, I'm so sorry I have to leave, but Lynn, I'll call you later, okay?
Okay, we'll do.
bye, love.
Bye, Elsa,
Have a
thanks.
good day.
You too.
Irene.
No, I agree. Simone, you could you can come in and if you want. I don't know if she's actually.
I was like, is Simone there?
No, I just think that it might be too much. For that, you know what I mean? Like, because before they sign up, because that's way too much stuff to think about before you sign up.
Right. That's true. So, but like, for example, you're going to have people who are like, so, they're thinking about the business, they're interested, they're there, they're like, so how do you make money doing this? I mean, obviously there's going to be some people that might ask that, they're right there, you're talking with them. So how do you make money on that?
Okay.
Do you just give kind of a general explanation that, we get paid on retail product, we get paid on our consultants, we get paid on our team, building our team, bonuses.
Yeah.
Just basically reading that, right?
Yep. That's it.
And then when they sign up, then you kind of explain it more in detail, right?
So when they sign up, we go through, well, we do the Sarah Robbins, and I'm going to start adding that getting started link. I found out that some people, because the Sarah Robbins, it has the videos and it has if they're not doing that on their computer, they don't see that there's a link to go to that getting started.
That's true. So
some people, I found out, that's why I shared it with you guys last night. I'm like, have you guys gone through this getting started thing?
Yeah.
Because I just realized some people didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So you want them to go through all of that and understand the terminology, and then we go deep. Like, no one's ever done that with me.
Yeah.
Right? So like, that's why I guess it took me longer than expected to understand it, I guess. And again, I know my brain and I'm going to overthink something. So the less I know, the more I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so that's kind of how I just ran with it. But I was told to just find 2 people every month.
Yeah.
And I ran with it. So anyway, so how do you feel?
I feel okay. I mean, I think I feel like I need to listen to my stuff, repeat it in my head.
You should really present to your husband. You should present to your husband twice before Sunday. And
that's a good idea.
Have him
I'll do that because, I'll do that because then that way he gets to hear the presentation.
Yeah, have him time you. And if you even want, you can you can present it to me later if you want to.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Okay.
Maybe if I'm not there, you will be less nervous.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So present it to your husband. Make sure he times each section.
Okay.
Time how long it takes to, go from the product presentation, the business presentation, and so on.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go to do some follow up with my work.
All right, dear. I'll call you later, honey.
Okay, bye now.
All right, have a good day. Okay, bye.